Brad Banducci is Woolworths CEO and he's with us. Mr Banducci, is the stage 4 lockdown going to lead to food or grocery shortages in Victoria or elsewhere around the nation?
That's certainly not our collective intent, Lee. And thanks to the adjustments that the government has made to the level 4 lockdown plan for supermarket distribution centres, it shouldn't be the case.
So you've reached some sort of compromise today with the Victorian government around what you can do, is that right?
Oh, look, there's been a lot of conversations with the Victorian government over the last 4 days on how to make sure we implemented in line with the objective of the government, but in something that was also fit for purpose for the industry that we work in. And some adjustments were made today, which were very pragmatic adjustments and really do help us make sure we keep our stores in stock in Victoria, and I speak on behalf of all food retailers in Victoria.
You said before that it wasn't supermarkets' collective intent or presumably government to see food shortages, but we've been in this situation now for quite a while. You saw what happened with groceries last time around. Shouldn't there be more than, I guess, collective intent that guarantees that we don't have food shortages?
Oh, well, I've come to realise guarantees are something that's very hard to deliver against, but 5% is too much out of stock in our business, so any level of out of stock is too high. Most of the shortages which we currently have really are products of demand and supply imbalances, but I think the plan that has been reached means that we should be able to deliver, I think, a very good shopping experience for Victorian customers.
Are you seeing any signs of panic buying yet in stores in Victoria or elsewhere?
Look, it'd be fair to say some of the uncertainty over the last couple of weeks has led to an elevated level of demand in Victoria, particularly in Melbourne, and particularly in red meat. So we have seen it, not to the levels we saw in March and April of earlier in the year. So we have had a bit of elevated demand, but not nearly to the same extent.
Woolworths had an industrial dispute earlier this week with workers at a distribution centre in New South Wales over a pay rise claim. When will that be resolved, and isn't there a risk that could affect the supply of products to stores?
It's at our Wyong distribution centre on the Central Coast. It's one of our smaller distribution centres. It services 76 stores out of 1,050. So it's important, but it's not one of our critical national distribution centres. I'm told as I came on air this evening that it was in the process of being resolved, so I'm relieved to be able to say that. But obviously we want all of our distribution centres up and operational at this critical time for all of us.
Woolies has been encouraging customers to wear masks in states where they're not mandatory when they're in stores. What are you seeing on that front?
Oh, look, we've seen actually really pleasing uptake by our team and customers alike. I've actually got my mask at my feet. I'm not wearing it this evening, but really encouraging management to wear masks as well. We should socialise them, make sure they're seen as just part of one of the things we need to do to be COVID safe. So really very pleasing uptake so far.
How many COVID cases have you had in total in Woolworths stores across the country?
We've had Woolworths, well, we're the biggest employer in Australia with around 200,000 team members. I don't have the exact number in front of me, but it's just around about 51 of our team members that have tested COVID positive. We're actively checking in on them, making sure that they're okay. At this stage, we've only had 2 of our team hospitalised with COVID positive cases. Both at this stage seem to be in good condition, but again, we keep continuing to check up on them.
And just finally, your daughter is a health worker and she's tested positive for coronavirus. How's she going?
Thank you for asking. She's fine so far. She's been very well cared for. She was working in Melbourne, no, she's well cared for at home, shown mild signs of COVID, but nothing alarming at this stage. I think her mother's in a far worse state worrying about it.
Certainly brings it very close to home for you, this experience.
Oh, and I think it's close to home for all of us, and that's the thing we should remind ourselves about at this stage. Phase 1 really for us was the fear of the unknown. At this stage, it is how we actually adjust to and deal with living in a world of COVID. That's important at work, it's important at home, and it's just something we just all need to lean into and work through. It's one of the many reasons why I was very supportive on the use of masks. We need to socialise, that COVID safe behaviour is to be encouraged amongst all of us at all times.
Brad Banducci, thank you for your time today.
My pleasure.
Hi, I'm Lee Sales. Thanks for watching this story. If you'd like to watch more of 7:30's stories, they are on the left of your screen. And tap on the button below to subscribe and get the latest from ABC News.